Let's talk about a painful and confusing truth. Someone in your life right now looks down on you, but they still want to be your friend. You've felt it. That person who is friendly to your face, who asks you to hang out, but whose words carry a subtle sting of disrespect. The friend who gossips about you behind your back, but is all smiles when they need something. You are left feeling confused, used, and questioning your own judgment. You think, am I just being too sensitive? No, you are not. You are sensing a hidden dynamic. The truth is, not all relationships are built on mutual respect. Some are built on a hidden transactional agenda. And when you don't understand that agenda, your sincerity can be weaponized against you. Today, we're going to move beyond the confusion. We're going to explore the 3 primary psychological reasons why someone who looks down on you still wants to keep you around. This isn't about making you cynical, it's about making you wise. It's about learning to see the game so you can choose not to play. 1. They need you to feel superior. The first reason is the most common and the most subtle. They keep you around not because they like you, but because your presence makes them feel better about themselves. This is rooted in what the psychologist Alfred Adler called the striving for superiority. He theorized that many people are driven by a deep-seated feeling of inferiority. To soothe this feeling, they don't always work on themselves. Instead, they curate their social circle to include people they can secretly feel superior to. You become a living, breathing measuring stick that they can use to prop up their own fragile ego. Let's imagine a woman named Jessica. She's smart, kind, but still finding her way in her career. She has a frenemy named Karen, who is slightly more successful. Karen loves to have Jessica over for dinner parties. Why? Because Karen can talk about her recent promotion, her new car, her expensive vacation, and then turn to Jessica and say, with a look of fake sympathy, "Oh, things will get better for you soon. I just know it." In that moment, Jessica isn't a friend. She's a prop. Her perceived less-than status is the dark background against which Karen's success shines brighter. The friendship is not about connection. It's about comparison. Karen doesn't actually respect Jessica. She needs Jessica's struggle to validate her own success. Look for the person whose conversations always seem to circle back to a comparison of your lives, your salaries, your relationships, your achievements. If their friendship feels more like a constant, subtle competition that you always seem to be losing, you may not be a friend to them. You may be a tool for their ego. 2. They need something you have. The second reason is far more transactional. They see past their lack of respect for you because they are focused on something you can do for them. The great philosopher Immanuel Kant gave us a powerful moral rule. We should always treat people as an end in themselves, never merely as a means to an end. This means we should value people for who they are, not for what they can give us. The transactional friend does the exact opposite. To them, you are a means, a tool, a stepping stone, a resource. Think of a young, brilliant but socially awkward programmer named Tom. His manager, David, barely acknowledges him and often takes credit for his work. David clearly doesn't respect Tom as a person. But one day, Tom develops a groundbreaking piece of code that only he understands. A piece of code that could earn their department a huge bonus and a promotion for its manager. Suddenly, David's entire demeanor changes. He starts calling Tom buddy, invites him to lunch, and praises him in meetings. David hasn't suddenly started respecting Tom's character. He has simply recognized the value of the tool. Tom is the key to David's promotion. This pattern is easy to spot once you know what to look for. Their interest in you will be highly conditional. It will flare up when you have something they need, a skill at work, a connection to a social circle, an asset, and it will vanish the moment your utility is gone. A true friend is interested in you when you have nothing to offer but your company. A user is only interested when you have something to give. 3. They need you for entertainment. The third reason is perhaps the most cruel. They keep you around not for superiority or for utility, but for amusement. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer wrote extensively on how boredom is one of the most powerful and destructive forces in human life. He argued that people will do almost anything to escape the feeling of their own inner emptiness. For some, the easiest and most cruel form of escape is to use another person's humanity as a source of entertainment. Think of the lovable punching bag in a friend group. Let's call him Kevin. Kevin is invited to every party. He thinks he's popular. But the reality is, he is the designated butt of every joke. The other members of the group subtly mock his clothes, his stories, his personality. They aren't inviting him out of genuine affection. They are inviting him because his predictable reactions and social awkwardness are a reliable source of amusement. He provides the drama and laughter that distracts the rest of the group from their own boredom. This is the friendship that consistently leaves you feeling small, humiliated, or drained. The jokes are always at your expense, and if you object, you are told you're too sensitive. This is a classic manipulation tactic. A true friend laughs with you. A person who doesn't respect you laughs at you. They are not a friend, they are an audience member. And you are the unwilling entertainment. 4. From awareness to action. Okay, you've recognized a pattern. You see that a relationship in your life is not based on respect, but on one of these hidden agendas. So, what do you do now? The solution is not about dramatic confrontations or revenge. It is about quiet, powerful, and strategic self-preservation. Here are 3 steps. First, become the observer. The moment you can see the pattern, you are no longer a victim of it. When the frenemy gives you a backhanded compliment, instead of feeling the sting, step back in your mind and become a social scientist. Silently say to yourself, there it is. Adler's theory in action. When the user suddenly becomes friendly, ask yourself, what do they need right now? The moment you can label the behavior, it loses its emotional power over you. You move from being a participant in their drama to an observer of their patterns. Second, the slow fade. You do not owe these individuals a dramatic exit. In fact, a big confrontation often gives them the drama and attention they crave. The most powerful response is a gradual emotional withdrawal. You become a little less available. You take a little longer to text back. You share less personal information. You are not being rude. You are reallocating your most precious resource, your energy, from a bad investment to a better one, yourself. This is known as the grey rock method. You become so boring and unresponsive that the user or jester voluntarily seeks more stimulating entertainment elsewhere. Third, build your fences. A boundary is not a wall you build out of anger. It is a fence you build out of self-respect. It's a calm, simple statement of your reality. To the user, you can say, I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't help with that right now. No long excuse is needed. To the jester, when they make a joke at your expense, you don't have to laugh. You can simply say, I don't find that funny, and change the subject. You are not asking for their permission to be treated with respect. You are simply, quietly, and powerfully defining the terms of your own engagement. Realizing that someone you considered a friend is operating from one of these hidden agendas is deeply painful. But this knowledge is not a reason to become cynical or to close your heart. It is a tool for wise discernment. Your sincerity and your kindness are not weaknesses. They are your greatest strengths. But like any precious resource, they must be invested wisely. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that we cannot control how other people choose to act, but we have absolute control over who we choose to give our time, our energy, and our friendship to. You cannot change the person who needs you for comparison, but you can choose to walk away from the game. You cannot change the person who sees you as a tool, but you can choose to put yourself back in your own hands. You cannot change the person who sees you as entertainment, but you can choose to leave the stage. This is not an act of anger. It is an act of profound self-respect. It is the moment you decide that your life is not a backdrop for someone else's ego. It is the moment you learn that the most important relationship you will ever have is the one where you respect yourself enough to demand respect from others. And that is a friendship worth fighting for.